Now at noon, Dane County joins a growing number of employers requiring staff to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And New York's Attorney General announces the results of her investigation into sexual harassment claims against Governor Andrew Cuomo.
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday. We're enjoying a beautiful stretch of weather here in southern Wisconsin. Let's head to the Weather Center. Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Good afternoon, Julian.
Good afternoon, Mark, and you're right. We are in a beautiful stretch of some weather for us, and it's continuing for our Tuesday afternoon. As we take a look outside of Madison, we see a couple of clouds, but plenty of sunshine as we're going in throughout the rest of our afternoon hours. Current conditions right now, 79, and it feels great. We have really low humidity for us, and temperatures around the areas, we are still into those upper to middle 70s with 79 degrees in Boscobel, with 83 degrees, a little warmer over into the eastern side, with Milwaukee looking at 83 as of right now, but still we're feeling pretty good. As I had mentioned, those dew points are still very, very low, hardly even a factor throughout our afternoon hours, which is really good as we are continuing this beautiful stretch. And on top of that, we are looking at plenty of dry conditions for us as we continue into our afternoon hours. We'll have more details coming up, Mark, because we're going to take a look at some possible changes heading into the weekend.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Julian. Thank you. Madison nightclub is becoming one of the first in the city to require proof of vaccination. 5 nightclubs says the requirements start on Thursdays and apply for anyone trying to get in from 8 p.m. to close on weekends. The nightclub says weekend evenings have been extremely busy, but they can't continue forward responsibly without implementing this new guideline. You can bring your physical vaccination card or a picture of your card. Both Dane County and the city of Madison are now requiring employees to submit proof of vaccination or a weekly negative COVID test.
The Delta variant doesn't mess around. We will do what's needed to protect our workforce and those they serve.
It's the latest in the push to get more Americans vaccinated. New vaccine requirements were also announced in New York City today. Skylar Henry has more on that.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio announced tough new vaccination requirements for many of the city's most popular indoor activities. People will now have to prove they are vaccinated if they want to eat indoors at restaurants, work out in gyms, and attend performances. The city will begin enforcing it September 13th.
Not everyone's going to agree with this. I understand that. But for so many people, this is going to be the life-saving act that we're putting a mandate in place. It's going to guarantee a much higher level of vaccination in this city, and that is the key to protecting people and the key to our recovery.
This comes as the White House is working with private companies who are requiring employees to get vaccinated.
Walmart, Disney, and Google all announcing vaccine requirements, and there's dozens of other companies that are doing these types of actions to protect their workers.
The White House announced the U.S. has finally reached 70% of U.S. adults at least being partially vaccinated, a goal that President Biden wanted to meet about a month ago. The rise in vaccinations coincides with a sharp increase in cases due to the Delta variant, but some states still lag behind, with 17 states with vaccination rates under 50%.
The vast majority of spread in this country is among those who are unvaccinated.
Officials do acknowledge there are some breakthrough cases where vaccinated people are still getting sick, including South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. He tweeted, "I'm very glad I was vaccinated, because without vaccination, I'm certain I would not feel as well as I do now. My symptoms would be far worse." Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
More local news now. We've just learned residents who live above Change Boutique will be allowed to stay. A car crashed into the shop yesterday, causing extensive damage and evacuations. The City of Madison building inspector has conducted an assessment of the damage. The owner of Change Boutique says they'll see if they'll try to sell items on site, off-site, while repairs are being made, that is. Madison police are asking for your help identifying a man suspected of an armed robbery. It happened on the Starkweather Creek bike path near Commercial Avenue on the east side yesterday afternoon. The report said the victims were on the path when the man approached them, showed a weapon, and took the victim's necklace, cash, and AirPods. If you have any information, be sure to contact Madison Area Crime Stoppers. The Rock County man accused of killing his grandmother is headed for trial. Jamie Beggs waived his preliminary hearing this morning. He's charged with first-degree intentional homicide for the murder of Kathleen Beggs. According to the criminal complaint, Beggs told authorities he was seeing demons before the murder. An investigation in New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo has found that he sexually harassed multiple state government employees.
none of this would have been illuminated if not for the heroic women who came forward.
The investigation also found that Cuomo created a hostile work environment through fear and intimidation. Cuomo faced multiple allegations from women who say he inappropriately touched and harassed them. Wisconsin State Senator Chris Larson is dropping out of the race for U.S. Senate. Today, Larson backed Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes. The seat is currently held by Senator Ron Johnson. A crowded field of Democrats is hoping to win the seat from Johnson. In a statement, Larson said he remains committed to electing Democrats who fight for progressive values. Looking ahead to tonight, a public hearing in Fitchburg will take place as they continue to search for a new police chief. Right now, they're down to 4 finalists. Those are on your screen. They'll be at a meeting to take your questions tonight starting at 6:30 at the IUPAT Training Center. That's on King James Way. Next week, the finalists will tour the city and police department. No word yet on when a chief will be determined. Also happening tonight, the Beloit Snappers will open up a new stadium. The ABC Supply Stadium set to host its first minor league game tonight. This will be the Snappers' first home game in 16 days. The team's president says the stadium will serve as a top event center in the area. The team is set to play the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers tonight at 6:35. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Let's check in with Elise Preston at the New York Stock Exchange.
Ditching overdraft fees, why one credit union is making the move, and a 90s favorite makes a comeback with a twist. I'm Elise Preston at the New York Stock Exchange. I'll have those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
Do you suffer from ED? Did you know there could be a way to relieve ED without harmful medications, needles, or surgery? Peak Performance for Men is here to help. Click or call now to treat your ED. And remember, our results make the difference.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there. And I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth today by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
There could be a do-over in Alabama, where an attempt to unionize an Amazon plant failed by a more than 2-to-1 margin earlier this year. An official at the National Labor Relations Board says Amazon improperly sought to influence that election and recommended its results be set aside. The NLRB is deciding how to proceed and could order a new election. Amazon objected to that idea, noting that the first vote was overwhelmingly against unionizing. Another financial institution announces it will drop overdraft and insufficient funds fees. Digital credit union Alliant says it's making the historic move because it's in the best interest of members. In the last decade, financial institutions have collected more money in fees than they have paid out in interest. As more Americans turn away from sugary drinks and juices, PepsiCo says it will sell its juice brands. Tropicana and Naked are included in the sale, valued at $3.3 billion. Pepsi will keep a chunk of its ownership stake. The company says it is looking to focus on healthier drinks and snacks. The old becomes new again, but of course with a twist. Super popular in the 90s, virtual pet Tamagotchi is set to release 2 brand new Star Wars-inspired editions this year. The release of the R2-D2 Tamagotchi will come with 2 games and 7 more unlockable games. The release is slated for November. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Elise Preston.
Elise, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 172 points. The NASDAQ up 33. The S&P 500 up 20. Well, Fortune has released its list of the 500 biggest companies around the world, and Walmart comes in at number 1. It has claimed that top spot on the list for 8 years in a row. Another retailer is gaining momentum, though. Amazon landed in 3rd place this year. It's a big leap up from 9th place in 2020. But neither company was the world's most profitable. That title goes to Apple, which netted $57 billion in profits. For the 3rd day in a row, Spirit Airlines is facing significant disruptions. The low-cost carrier has canceled or delayed nearly 300 flights as of this morning. Aviation tracking website FlightAware says that's 40% of Spirit's schedule. Spirit says the issues stem from weather and operational challenges. Well, pleasant and dry conditions for now here in southern Wisconsin. Julian's back with the first warn forecast after the break.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
There's a safe way to protect kids 12 and up from COVID-19.
So why did we get her a COVID-19 vaccine?
So I could see my friends again.
For our family trip.
To keep them safe.
Help your kids be kids again, safely. Visit vaccines.gov to find a COVID-19 vaccine near you, or call 211 to learn more.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC will always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Are your taste buds ready for Madison Magazine's Summer Taste Tour? Starting August 1st through the 21st, tour the city of Madison to restaurants, breweries, distilleries, and wineries to sample and participate in Madison Magazine's scavenger hunt. Visit MadisonMagazine.com for a map of participating businesses and scavenger hunt details. Madison Magazine's Summer Taste Tour, August 1st to the 21st. Taste the goodness. Sponsored by Schuster's Farm. Come out for Blooms and Butterflies starting August 6th. Live music, beer, wine, and taco cart. Visit SchustersFarm.com for tickets.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blain's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report as August moves along.
Yes, that's right. Although this morning you wouldn't know it was August.
Well,
it was
chilly.
another one of those comfortable mornings. That's a good thing. So now we're just going to kind of wait and see when that heat rebuilds because we can use it. The latest update as far as our Wisconsin corn and soybeans are concerned show we still have some development that needs to take place out there. According to Wisconsin farmers, 86% of our corn is in the silk stage now. Again, remember, that's a sign of a maturity. We're starting to develop the corn cobs on that stalk now, so need to kind of keep an eye on what's going on there. Farmers feeling pretty good about their crops. 75% rated good to excellent on their corn. That's unchanged from last week. Soybeans, 88% are blooming now. That's basically even with last year and 7 days ahead of our 5-year average, and 72% of our soybeans are rated good to excellent. We've got 80% of the wheat already harvested, another 28% of the oats that have already been harvested, and 8% of the potatoes have already been harvested. So good for Wisconsin. Not good for places like Minnesota, North Dakota, as well as South Dakota and Nebraska. Boy, their crop ratings took another nosedive again this week. In fact, now you're seeing more than 40% of the corn, the soybeans in Minnesota, North Dakota, and even South Dakota and Nebraska that are in poor to very poor condition. I talked to a broker this morning, and he said the next 10 days' time or so, farmers in that impacted geography are going to start chopping their corn and maybe just have it for feed. It's not going to make it grain quality, but instead of losing everything, they're going to just try to harvest it that way. Barrel cheese today down another 1/4 cent at 1.30 3/4. 40-pound black cheese finishes at 1.63 1/2. That's unchanged. Double A butter on a Tuesday down another 8 cents at $1.62 per pound. So yeah, you know, that's the hard part about it. When you've got decent commodity prices, it usually comes at the cost of some other farmer. Right. And this year it looks like it's that farmers in those North Dakota, Western Minnesota, South Dakota area, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been really hot out there.
And dry.
Yep. All right. All right, Pam, thank you.
Yep.
Let's head over to the Weather Center. Julian will tell us if it's going to warm up here soon.
Well, we are looking for it to be a little warmer for today, but on top of that, we're still sticking with that dry trend. The next 3 days, Mark, the 3 things we need to know. We're looking at pleasantly warm conditions, and then we are still seeing not a whole lot of rain this week. We're sticking with that dry trend until we get towards the back end of this week. That's what we're going to be looking for this weekend, a chance of seeing some storms and possibly even some rain as well. But on top of that, for our afternoon here in Madison, we're like 79 degrees. We're feeling pretty good. The heat index is only 80 degrees. Not a whole lot of effect from that humidity because it's very low in terms of our dew points. Our temperatures right now, we're looking at 80 degrees in Watertown, Milwaukee, 83 degrees, so a bit warmer into the east, but over towards the west, we're still into those middle 70s with 75 degrees in Viroqua as of right now. So we're still feeling very good. It's pretty much a beautiful day, especially with these dew points and such a low temperature as of right now. 55-degree dew point in Madison and the 60s over into the west, so a little bit more humid, but still not enough to really make it any kind of sticky for us for our Tuesday afternoon. In terms of wind speeds, they're still looking onto the light calm side. We're looking at 7 miles per hour winds over into Madison and Lone Rock, so winds aren't even a factor for us throughout our day. Now, in terms of how we're seeing in precipitation, we're still looking at plenty of dry conditions for us, and we're still looking at lots of sunshine as well. It's going to be the trend for us until we get into about the afternoon. Then we could be seeing potentially a pop-up shower just outside of Madison, between Madison and Mineral Point. But for the most part, we're still looking at plenty dry conditions, especially as we get into tonight. Clearing out, looking for a nice open starry sky. And then as we go into our Wednesday morning, we're going to be waking up to another comfortable morning for us as we get things rolling. Now, things we'll need to know for this afternoon, once again, is going to be a high around 80 degrees. It's partly sunny. It's going to feel a little bit warmer than it did yesterday, but still going to be pretty beautiful conditions. So if you want to go out and plan your day, well, we're still looking at those 80s to stick into our afternoon. Still plenty of sunshine. May see a couple of clouds as we get things rolling, but it's going to be perfect for our running forecast for today. This afternoon, we're still going to be looking at green for good for you guys to get outside and get a nice little run in either this afternoon or even after work around dinner time. Now, as we take a look in terms of the rain chances, however, tomorrow and for Thursday, not looking too promising. However, Thursday night, we could see some showers or storms. But then as we get into closer to the weekend, to the back end of the week, we're looking at better chances for Friday and Saturday. Sunday as well, looking to be some of the best chances for us to start to see some rain and start to clear up some of these dry conditions for us. Now, for our weekend forecast, this is what we are going to be taking an eye on. Just a quick look for what we have potential for this weekend. Chance of rain for Sunday and possibly some night storms on Saturday. So that's going to be the changes that we're going to be looking for in the next few days. Now, as we take a look at our next couple, until then, we're going to be looking at this trend to be slowly but surely starting to warm up, and then getting into the weekend. That's when the heat's going to be coming in, the humidity's coming in, and potentially going to be seeing some more wet weather as we have chances of seeing some storms and some rain, but mostly into the nightly hours, Mark.
Looks like August out there.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Julian, thank you. Well, after the break, we've got a great way to use some of the fresh Wisconsin veggies and cheese. We're making corn and feta salsa after the break. We'll head out to the patio right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If you can afford to launch yourself into space, you can pay your fair share in taxes. But billionaires and big corporations have avoided paying taxes for years. President Joe Biden's plan makes the rich pay their fair share so we can cut taxes for families with children and create millions of good jobs. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to stop putting billionaires ahead of the middle class. If you can afford to joyride in space, you can pay your fair share.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
I learned long ago, if you've got the right tools and a little know-how, you can do it yourself. And no wall of mine's gonna get some dime a dozen paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Premium performance from start to that tough, washable, one-coat finish. It exceeds expectations of what makes great paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains.
Get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paints and Stains.
This is the time of year that fresh peaches are pretty much available everywhere at some really reasonable prices. And that means we can turn them into cobblers, add them to our smoothies, or best of all, use them in all sorts of baked goods, like the creamy, dreamy pie that we're making today. We start by lining a pie plate with either a homemade or refrigerated pie crust and fluting the edges. Now, in a small bowl, we combine some brown sugar, flour, a touch of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. After giving this a stir, we add some fresh cream and give it a mix. Now, we fill our pie crust with a good amount of sliced fresh peaches and pour the cream mixture over them. After baking it and letting it cool at room temp, into the fridge it goes until it's time for dessert. Right before serving, finish it with dollops of fresh whipped cream and thin slices of fresh peaches for an even fancier look. This pie is everything we love about fresh summer dessert. To get the recipe for our Peachy Keen Cream Pie, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a peachy delicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Am I okay?
Thank you, Howard. Yes, you're okay. From the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is here. Welcome back. What are we making today?
Well, Mark, it's in the middle of the summer. We're celebrating all things Wisconsin, farm fresh produce and farm fresh Wisconsin cheese. So we have a delicious tomato and feta homemade salsa today. Very easy to make and very timely because I know everyone's getting tomatoes from their gardens, onions, cilantro, corn. Sweet corn's very plentiful.
It all comes at once.
Yes, and to pair that with a fresh Wisconsin cheese, we have a Wisconsin feta. It's very simple to make, so you're going to start out with 2 cans of black beans. I know everybody likes those. And then 1 cup of fresh tomatoes from your garden that's quartered into small pieces. We also have some fresh corn, whether you want to buy it or maybe you have some local sweet corn in your fridge. 1 cup of fresh corn.
So is that cooked or not?
It's not cooked, no.
Okay.
And then we have a half a cup of red onions, so also gives it lots of great flavor. It's a very colorful recipe as well. And then some fresh cilantro as well, adds a lot of great color. And then we're going to add a little bit of lime juice and some cayenne pepper. And you're actually going to put this in the fridge for about an hour just to let the flavors all soak through it. And at the very end...
You forgot the most important
You're going to add the star ingredient at the end once you put it in the fridge. And then we have that Wisconsin fresh feta, and it's very tangy, it's salty, it's perfect for salsas, perfect for salads. I know it's probably one of your favorites, Mark, because you like every kind of cheese.
I love feta, and there's different kinds of feta too, aren't there?
Absolutely. So there's Mediterranean, there's basil, there's fat-free, all different kinds of flavor varieties. You can buy chunks of feta, crumbled feta. The feta that I'm featuring today is made in Monroe, Wisconsin. It's at the Klondike Cheese Factory, the Odyssey Feta. They have 6 Wisconsin master cheesemakers, and they can continue to win awards at the State Fair, the World Cheese Championship, the United States. So nothing but the best, Mark, when we talk about Wisconsin cheese.
Now feta, does that originate in Greece?
It is. It's originally a Greek cheese, but now we make a lot of feta here in Wisconsin. We're a big feta producer. So just continue to look for that Proudly Wisconsin cheese badge because more than likely your feta is probably coming from Wisconsin.
So here's the final product.
The final product, you can serve it with some tortilla chips, different colors. Also, maybe you want to serve some bell peppers to give it a little more color. A great appetizer, maybe even a meal within itself.
It looks healthy.
It looks healthy. It actually is very healthy. You're getting lots of great protein from the cheeses and then all those summer vegetables. So very light and healthy.
And the fat content of the feta is about 2 or 4%?
Yeah, and you can buy the different, if you're worried about that, you can buy the reduced fat, the full fat. There's different varieties if whatever you prefer.
We're in Wisconsin. Get them all.
Yes. Yes, get them all. Try one of each.
All right, the recipe online?
Yep, you can check out wisconsincheese.com and you can find all of our recipes there.
Boy, summer's zipping by, isn't it?
Yeah, before you know it, we'll be talking about winter recipes, right?
Yeah, back to school
Yeah,
stuff.
back to school.
All right, Ange, thank you. Have a great day. Let's head back to the studio. Julian has one final check of the forecast.
And for our final look at the forecast, we're going to be looking for the next couple of days to really not have a whole lot of activity for us. But then as we get into about back end of our week, that's when we're going to start to see a bit of precipitation starting to make its way into our nightly hours for Thursday, and then some chances of it going into our weekend as well. So we could be starting to see the dry trend start to end a little bit, but mostly going to be sticking into the nightly hours, especially for Saturday and Sunday. As that heat increases, we're looking at our chances of rain to also increase as well. So that's something we're going to be keeping an eye on. Until then, definitely enjoy these next couple of days. Back to you, Mark.
And thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, enjoy this great weather. Have a great afternoon.